That's a theme that we're going to focus on. Two special guests are joining me to take the conversation forward. P.S. Raghavan, former Indian ambassador to Russia, and Nandan Unnikrishnan, Distinguished Fellow, ORF. Good evening and warm welcome to you, gentlemen. Ambassador Raghavan, if I can begin with you, sir. Amidst the changing world order, new ties, new alliances and groupings that we learn about, how do you see the value of India-Russia ties in the present times?
Good evening. Thanks for having me. As you said in the run-up to your conversation,
Sir.
It's a very important time that we are having some. The India-Russia strategic cooperation has been very robust over the last many years. As you see, this is the 21st summit meeting. Unfortunately, the summit did not take place last year. As you say, we are meeting at a time when the international situation has many challenges before us. Bilaterally also, there are a number of areas where our cooperation has progressed very well and can be taken forward. So if you look at it, this summit will give us the opportunity. Firstly, the run-up to the summit has the meeting of the defense ministers, has the meeting of the 2+2, which is a very important strategic advance in the relationship. And we will deal with, the summit will deal with, as you yourself mentioned, defense, energy, also economic cooperation, which has actually, in a sense, lagged behind the other pillars of the relationship. And then you have situation in our neighborhood, in our extended neighborhood, which has become very sensitive. The areas around Afghanistan.
Right.
We are very interested also in such developments as the JCPOA in Iran. We would consider questions on sanctions applying in the because we would like to activate also the North-South transport corridor through Iran to Central Asia, an important India-Russia project. So there are many subjects from bilateral to regional to economic to political, which I think short period tomorrow, all of them will be compressed. And of course, the one-to-one meeting between the Prime Minister and President Putin will be very important. It always takes a long, it's a very important part of the summit agenda. And that's what I think we'll be looking forward to tomorrow.
Right. Mr. Unnikrishnan, your thoughts on the significance of the 21st annual summit. Also the platform itself. Over the years, how do you see, has it provided a sort of stable base for the relations to grow from strength to strength?
Well, I think the annual summits have genuinely helped the relationship grow on the basis of mutual understanding, exchanges of views on the developments in the world. Ambassador Raghavan has more or less very succinctly sort of summed up the various challenges as well as the opportunities in our relationship. And I think a very important aspect of the relationship is the interaction, the personal interaction between the two leaders. Our two leaders seem to have a very good chemistry with each other, as well as a very good understanding of where they stand and their outlook to world affairs. And I think personally this summit will only further our relationship, stabilize them in this world that is currently going through a churn. We will never be able to isolate it from this churn, but we will be able to take it forward.
Right. Also, Mr. Unnikrishnan, a special focus this time around, and there's a lot of interest around it, is the strengthening defense partnership between India and Russia. Of course, there is this S-400 weapon system, which has garnered a lot of interest. How do you see that really taking the relationships forward? I mean, that's just one set of weapons exchange, but beyond that, how do you see the defense partnership going from strength to strength? Because a lot is happening this time over.
Well, one thing is, India has always conducted a defense policy that it thinks best meets its immediate and future national interest requirements. So I don't see India changing its approach to its defense policy. And within that context, if India decides that it has to utilize a greater number of systems from the Russians, or if these systems are available on better terms or in better technical conditions from other partners, I'm sure the Indian experts will analyze the situation carefully and take whatever decisions are necessary in that direction. However, having said that, we must remember that our relationship with Russia is a long-standing one. Our defense equipment, larger than 50%, is Russian-made, so Soviet-made or Russian-made, and therefore completely divorcing ourselves from Russian supplies is not something that we could do in a great hurry, even if we wanted to do so. But given that we don't want to do so, I foresee that our relationship is going to grow. Our agreement on the S-400 is one. Our agreement on the production of the AK-203 is another one, which shows that the Russians are willing to participate in our Make in India program.
Right.
So in that sense, the Russian leadership as well as the Indian leadership understands the importance of continuing this cooperation.
Right. This new confidence in ties, Ambassador Raghavan, I'll bring that question to you, especially when we talk about Russian technology and Make in India coming together as far as defense partnership is concerned. How does that symbolize a sort of new confidence between the two nations? Ambassador Raghavan, am I audible to you?
Yeah, sorry, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
See, one of the main elements of the India-Russia defense cooperation has been the fact that Russia has been willing to transfer technologies to India, which actually no other country so far has been willing to transfer to us. And when the Prime Minister launched this initiative of Make in India, Russia was the first country to pick it up and to participate in the Make in India initiative, the Atmanirbhar initiative, in a very wholehearted way. And that is what will drive the further advance of our strategic cooperation, particularly in the defense field. And in fact, I think I would expect that during the conversations that take place tomorrow, Deputy Prime Minister Borisov is also part of the delegation. Besides being the co-chair of the Economic Commission, he is also the point person in Russia for the military technical cooperation with India. So I expect that there will be a great deal of advance in decision making about the strategy moving forward, about how Russia will participate in the indigenization of the Indian defense industry, which is a very important goal for us.
Right, and Ambassador Raghavan, also the first 2+2 dialogue is going to take place between the two nations. We've seen India engage in that format of dialogue with the US, with Japan and Australia. But with Russia, what significance does it carry, defense and foreign affairs being discussed on the same table?
No, it's very significant, and it brings together these two strands which are actually related to each other. Defense, strategic affairs and foreign policy are really one composite whole, and it is an excellent idea that we are bringing them together. It enables us to sort of what the Russians like to call synchronize our watches on the strategic outlook, which actually includes foreign policy and defense, and the situation, the geopolitical situation that is developing around us. And a strategic partnership has to discuss these issues, not necessarily because we will agree in all respects. That is not the strength of a strategic partnership. The strength of a strategic partnership is to make sure that we act together on convergent issues, make sure that we understand the divergences, make sure that the divergences do not impact on our national interests. And of course, the convergences are more important and many more than the divergences. Right. That's what the 2+2 will help to identify and to take us forward with complete understanding.
Right. Mr. Unnikrishnan, talking about the convergences as far as strategic priorities are concerned, We've seen multiple visits by the Russian NSA, General Nikolai Patrushev to India. We've also seen visits from India to Russia. What are the priorities that you'd like to underline here, and to what extent would Afghanistan also likely to feature as an important priority between the two nations?
One thing I would like to point out first is it is a significant factor that we have had General Patrushev visit India twice in 2 months. He is not the kind of person who travels abroad too much.
Yes.
That is point number one. Point number two, I think Afghanistan is something that worries the leadership of both countries. It will be a matter that will be discussed in detail. And post-American withdrawal, I think both sides have significantly narrowed down whatever differences may have existed between the two. So Afghanistan is a significant factor in various other discussions. The only other thing that I would like to add is that I believe that these summits allow us not only to understand our convergences, but also clearly understand the way the other partner looks at the world and why these divergences, if there are any, they appear, and how do we adjust each other's policies to take into account these divergences. And that is one of the things that distinguishes the India-Russia relationship, that we are, barring maybe one or two incidents, sensitive to each other's national security concerns.
Right. Right. Important point there. Ambassador Raghavan, if I can bring that point to you, not just talk about the convergences, but also the areas where divergences may appear. Some experts also talk in the context of they bring in relations with the US and China while defining India-Russia relationship in the 21st century. As mature powers, how do you see India and Russia have been able to withstand that sort of test of times, and what challenges, if any, lie ahead?
No, there will be challenges ahead because there is this geopolitical flux in the global environment today. There are so many equations and matrices which are crisscrossing each other. The strength of the India-Russia relationship is, in fact, as Nandan also mentioned, our ability to talk about them. And this is where the one-to-one meeting of the Prime Minister and President Putin is very, very important. They have an excellent personal rapport. They have been able to discuss with great frankness the issues the big issues around us and how we look at each other. And as you rightly said, you have this Indo-Pacific, the various Indo-Pacific initiatives that we have along with the United States. The Russians look on it with some suspicion about the American motives there because of their very acrimonious relationship with the Americans. Now, we, of course, have very clearly explained to the Russians that our Indo-Pacific objectives are to create a cooperative order and to bring China into it, and by no means opposed to Russia. In fact, we say that Russians should be as interested in creating a cooperative order in the Indo-Pacific as we are. And this is part of the dialogue which took place also in Vladivostok between President Putin and Prime Minister Modi, and I'm sure this will continue here. Similarly, we are also worried about the way in which Russia-China relations are going. Given the fact of our relationship with China, we are very interested that Russia-China relations do not move in a direction that impinges on our national interests. And again, this will be the topic of, I'm sure this will be the topic of a very frank conversation between our Prime Minister and President Putin. So as I said, the idea is to clear the air of where we stand, to satisfy ourselves that our strategic partner has our core national interests in mind and will not cross our core national interests, and the same assurance we should be able to give to the Russians.
Right.
That is in fact the objective of the one-to-one meeting between our two leaders.
Right. And finally, Mr. Unnikrishnan, your thoughts on the kind of role and responsibility that falls onto the shoulders of the two leaders. The rapport between Prime Minister Modi and President Vladimir Putin. To what extent has that been able to shape the relationship in the recent years and the expectations ahead?
Well, I think it has played a very important role. I would say, particularly in the last 4 or 5 years, the interaction at a personal level, whether at formal summits or informal, between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin have imparted a huge degree of stability to our relationship, despite speculations about it going down and everything. I also believe that the interactions between our leaders give both sides clarity, as Ambassador Raghavan pointed out, clarity on where the other partner stands on a variety of issues of importance to each other. And therefore, to me, there is really no substitute to such interactions. And I would be a votary of having a greater number of such interactions. But given the busy schedule of both leaders, I suspect that is very, very difficult.
Right. On that note, Mr. Nandan Unnikrishnan, Ambassador Raghavan, thanks very much for joining us in Newsnight and sharing your perspective. Moving on to some